Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul Workman. I am the man of constant hatred. Welcome to Drinking Age Movies Short, a show where we take a short look back at films that came out 21 years ago and discuss their impact on filmmaking and pop culture today. We're still taking our look back from January to July, and this week we're saying happy 21st birthday to Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, a movie that was released on May 22nd, 1998.
And that, as much as anything else, led to my drinking problem.
Before we jump into Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, we're going to take a look back at August 21st to see what was released against Blade, which is what we covered on Wednesday's podcast, and this week's Too Damn Short. This sophomoric comedy stars Zach Morris and the drummer from the Oneaters. It tells the story of two friends who are failing at college and try to take advantage of a rule where a student can automatically pass a semester if their roommate commits suicide. With its lighthearted tone about depression and suicide, it really isn't a wonder that it didn't find an audience, or a release on Blu-ray. It is also the first film to make Mark Paul Gosselaar a marquee name, and the last one for the next 18 years. Tom Everett Scott's star didn't shine for much longer either. This parody of crime films such as The Fugitive and The Usual Suspects starred Leslie Nielsen and wasn't any good. I'm not gonna lie, this was a really dark time for Nielsen, but at least he was getting some paychecks. The next year, he would play a pirate opposite Eric Idle for a short film that was made for an attraction at Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia. Let me introduce you to a man. If you aren't familiar with him, his name is Hunter S. Thompson. He is the father of what is called gonzo journalism, a form of writing that includes the author as a first-person narrator, and a heavy dose of social commentary and/or satire. In Thompson's case, it also involved a lot of drugs, especially when it came to one of his most seminal works, a novel by the name of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, a story based on two trips to Vegas that Thompson took with his attorney, Oscar Zeta Acosta, in March and April of 1971. On the other side of this story is a film director named Terry Gilliam. Gilliam got his big break in animating and acting for British sketch comedy troupe Monty Python. He co-directed their debut film, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, in 1975. He used his experience working on that movie to direct his first solo film, Jabberwocky, in 1977. This would blossom into a string of critically acclaimed films throughout the 80s and early 90s. Fear and Loathing's journey from novel to screen was a 20-year nightmare that started with Thompson giving the rights to the novel to his girlfriend, who allegedly wouldn't sell the rights to director Ralph Bakshi to make an animated version of it. Over the next 2 decades, names attached to the project included directors Martin Scorsese, Oliver Stone, and Alex Cox. Jack Nicholson and Marlon Brando were once set to star, but aged out. Same with Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi, but that fell through when Belushi died in 1982. In 1980, director Art Linson made a film entitled Where the Buffalo Roam, based on Thompson's life and relationship with his attorney, Acosta, which did use some of their Las Vegas trips as partial inspiration. After many false starts with Rhino Films, who held the rights at the time, Universal Pictures stepped in 1997 to get the project off the ground with Terry Gilliam directing, and Johnny, I can't believe they got Edward Scissorhands to play Hunter S. Thompson Depp, and Benicio del Toro as the leads. In preparation for the role, del Toro gained 45 pounds, and Depp lived with Hunter S. Thompson, even going so far as to drive around Thompson's famous Caprice convertible, affectionately named the Big Red Shark, that he drove during the events of Fear and Loathing. Johnny even wore articles of clothing from Hunter's personal wardrobe in the film itself. The film opened to mixed reviews, and would flop at the box office, making back less than 14 of its $18 million budget. It would become a cult phenomenon on DVD. Don't look at me. I was 14. It would also inspire Johnny Depp to play Hunter S. Thompson for the next 20 years of his career. It did grab Depp an Oscar nomination for playing him in some little pirate movie in 2003. Gilliam would struggle to get a movie based on Don Quixote off the ground, and would have his troubles made into a documentary titled Lost in La Mancha. He continues to direct delightful and underrated films to this day. Since this is probably the only time I get to talk about Hunter S. Thompson on this channel, here goes. Thompson would gain a new base of fans, including myself, with the release of this film, which in turn led to new editions of his novels being published. He would continue to write, especially about sports, until his suicide in 2005. When interviewed about his life, Thompson's son would remark about his suicide.
He was not going to, die in a hospital or go to a nursing home. It was so important to him that his independence and freedom was so important.
Johnny Depp, who became close with Thompson between his casting and Thompson's death, would spend $3 million shooting Hunter's ashes out of a cannon. So that was Fear and Loathing Las Vegas. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you stopped in Bat Country? Leave a comment down below and let us know all of that. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that little bell icon for some notifications, because, hey, notifications. You can follow us on Facebook at Drinking Age Movies. You can follow me, the Man of Constant Hatred, on Twitter and Instagram at Father of the Fear. You can listen to our podcast on Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes. We'll leave some links down below so you can get all of that. You can give to our Patreon at patreon.com/drinkingagemovies. My name is Paul Workman. I have been the Man of Constant Hatred, and you have yourself a damn fine day. Okay. You can follow us.